Alright, this is John Colo with OKRod.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you. What we're going to do in this episode today is a popular video style that I've done before in the past, but I don't really like doing it, you know. I had a video, I don't know, maybe a month or so ago, basically what I eat in a day when I travel. A lot of you guys gave it a thumbs up, so I want to thank you for that. So I decided to do what I eat in a day, you know, when I'm at home and when I'm in my garden and, you know, in my normal environment. Now, I know many of you guys like these what you eat in a day to kind of see what other people are doing. The intention of my video is not so that you can copy me identically. Oh, John ate this, so I'm eating this, right? No, that's not what I want you guys to do, you know. I eat my diet based on what I have available and what I'm feeling like and what I want to eat that day. I mean, we're all different and unique, and we need different combinations of fruits and vegetables, which in my belief should be the primary source of calories and nutrients in your diet. But we're all inherently just a little bit different, so I don't want you to copy me identically. But what I do want you to pay attention to in this video today is, you know, some of the things I eat and some of the times I eat and how I eat the foods that I'm eating, because that's also, you know, very important and critical to learn besides just, you know, exactly what I'm eating today. So I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and start sharing with you today what I ate today. So now we're going to share with you guys what I eat in a day when I'm home. Lately, I actually haven't been home a lot, but every day is a little bit different, and today is just a random day. And once again, I want to let you guys know that this is what I'm eating in this day, and every day is totally different. It depends on produce availability in my garden and what I have available here and right now, and also depends on what I'm doing. So for example, if I was to sit at home and do a bunch of stuff, I would definitely probably eat something different. I'm actually headed out right now to some farms to get produce for the week, and so I want something fast, easy, and something that I could take with me while I'm driving and just sip on, you know, my drive to the farm. So what we're going to do today is we're going to get some of these melons here, and these melons are from the local farm. They're not super like sweet or anything, and one of my tricks that I like to do when I get melons that aren't super sweet, because if they are super sweet, I'd love to eat them and they're just delicious. But what I like to do is I like to actually juice them up. So I'm going to go ahead and take this guy, and I'm shaving off the skin, although you do not have to shave the skin off to juice it. And actually there's more nutrition in the skin, but I just want to get the sweetness out of this melon, especially because these are not optimally ripe and not optimally sweet. So now we're juicing this melon up in the all-new Omega VSJ 843, my new favorite vertical single auger style machine. Runs at a low 43 RPMs. You know, once again, this melon is nice, hard and firm. Hard and firm fruits juice significantly better than softer fruits. Just gonna drop that guy in there, and it just basically gets auto sucked in, and the pulp comes out, and then the sweet juice comes out. So, you know, we've juiced about half of the melon already, and it's created about 20 to 24 ounces. So I probably have about 40 to 48 ounces when all said and done in melon juice this morning. So now I'm juicing the last bit of melon here right into the juicer. Goes right in, gets juiced right up. You know, in general, I recommend you guys actually juice your vegetables and not your fruits, and eat your fruits whole. And, you know, in this case, the melon just does not taste good, and I'd rather, you know, juice it to get some good flavor and get the nutrition out of the melon into me, despite it not being as sweet as I would like. But optimally, I'd like to eat all my fruits whole. This juicer finished making this juice. We got a bunch of juice. I'm gonna go ahead and try for you guys. I mean, it tastes like a cucumber juice and a little bit of sweetness. It's really not that good, but this is gonna give me some hydration, you know, to start my day. I'm kind of running late. I gotta get out the door to get to the farm. They close early. So what I'm doing is I'm basically taking like a glass bottle that I got like spring water in, and we're just gonna go ahead and pour this in there so I could just drink this, you know, on my drive to the farm. And this will be my breakfast today. Alright, so I thought I'd juice another melon. It's another small one. Once again, not super ripe. I need to stay hydrated, and I'm gonna be out for a couple hours. So I always encourage you guys to eat a proper amount of food. I'll be taking this juice with me, and so I'll probably drink this. You know, I'm not gonna guzzle it now. I'm gonna drink it now, and within the next 2 hours, basically be done with my first meal of melon juice. So now I'm at a farm, harvesting my own produce here. What we got already is we got some of the jujubes, and I haven't tried any of those yet, so I haven't technically eaten them, although I have eaten some of these figs here, and I'll eat another one on camera for you guys. Look at that, nice, delicious Nevada-grown fig. So I'm just eating some samples here just to know how good this fruit is before I buy it. Next thing I'm buying is what I recommend you guys get. It's these guys right here. These are some grapes, but they're not just any grapes. These are actually some wine grape varieties, and these are Italia wine grapes. The best food is the food you harvest yourself. We're gonna come down here and get these fresh vine ripened grapes. Look at that bunch, man. Nice bunch, really good color, and look, these are truly sun-dried raisins right here. So this is what I'm gonna eat next. I'm gonna have fresh wine grapes. Wow. The table grapes you buy in the store, like the green, the red, the black ones, they suck compared to these guys. Like if you drink wine, you'll appreciate the flavors in the wines, but the wine grapes have not only the sweetness, but also a whole unique, different flavor palette that is really difficult to describe. It tastes kind of like fruit punchy, and there's a small seed that you can chew up and eat because there's nutrients in there. So now for my next meal, I'm still driving around, doing some shopping. Actually got a dog door here for my little one. Goodwill. It's always better to reuse than recycle. Also good prices at Goodwill. So yeah, so my next meal is I'll be eating these figs here. They're quite soft, quite delicious, and easy finger snack food while I'm driving. Check it out. Quite juicy too. So now it's time for my next meal. Kind of thirsty, I want to stay hydrated. One of my favorite ways to do that is to have coconuts. So we got these young coconuts here. Gonna go ahead and remove the water, not use the meat. We're gonna go ahead and put that in a blender carafe along with a really nice watery fruit. A nice papaya here. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what that looks like on the inside. Nice and ripe, full of seeds. So we're gonna blend the coconut water, papaya, and then also a few frozen bananas, and have a nice, delicious frozen smoothie coming up next. So as you guys can see, got my blender carafe full, 48-ounce carafe. Got basically used 2 coconuts, all the papaya, and maybe about equivalent of 1 or 2 frozen bananas. Now my last special ingredient that I'm going to put in today is this stuff right here. It's actually the L. reuteri probiotic powder, and I like adding probiotics to my smoothies. Not only does this kind of give it an Orange Julius-like flavor because it's like just this is white powder, it also adds the beneficial probiotics into the drink for me. The bananas are actually a prebiotic and will encourage the probiotics to grow and flourish within you, and I put a fair bit amount in there. And the probiotics, in my opinion, are very critical for health. And I take them specifically because the probiotics, number one, they help your digestive system digest food. Number two, the probiotics play a large role in actually your immune system, you know, to keep you healthy. So that's why I'm adding it in, and plus in this recipe, it makes it taste real good. Next, we're gonna go ahead and blend this baby up. All right, so we got that blended up, check it out. Nice, delicious papaya, banana, coconut water smoothie. Just like I was in the tropics. Nice and cold. Still one of my favorite smoothies to make after all these years. So now I'm ready for my next meal. It's, I don't know, about 4:30 or whatnot. Actually over at my brother's place, helping him with some irrigation stuff, out in the hot sun, getting quite hungry. So what I'm gonna eat next is I got some organic strawberries. This is from Costco. It's generally the lowest price for organic strawberries, about $2.50 a pound, and it's 2 pounds. So in some cases I'll just sit here and eat 2 pounds of strawberries as one meal. And you know, the main thing I want to let you guys know is that I want to encourage you guys to just eat until you're happy, eat until you're full. You know, just because there's 2 pounds doesn't mean you need to eat all 2 pounds. If you eat a pound and then you're just like full and you don't feel like eating more. One of the things I really like to eat is by like instinctually, and what that means is, you know, we get feedback from our body, like our stomach will stretch out, it'll be full, it'll tell our brain, okay, stop eating. And when you get that signal, stop eating. Don't eat more because there's 5 left, right? Put those away and eat them later. They're not going to go anywhere. They're not going to grow legs, so don't worry about it. Another thing I like to do is, check in with my taste buds. We should all appreciate our taste buds, and we have them for a reason to taste food. And if you're really perceptive, you'll actually taste a difference in like your first strawberry. When you're really hungry, it just tastes like really good. It's so awesome. And then once you eat maybe a pound or so, the strawberries just don't have that punch. They just don't taste quite as good as the first one did. And that's because maybe you've already eaten enough strawberries. So you will perceive a taste change some point along the way after eating strawberries or literally any food. And I want you guys to pay attention to this so that you do not overeat. Anyways, I'm gonna dig into my strawberries. All right, I always go through the box and pick out the nice, deepest, reddest ones first. Definitely really good. So I plowed through nearly 2 pounds of strawberries. Here's the last one. I saved the least ripest one for last. I probably should have saved a nice ripe one to end on a good note. Not as good as the first, but this was my meal, 2 pounds of strawberries. Another thing I want to remind you guys, when you're eating is not a race to finish your food first. Eating should be an enjoyment and a pleasurable experience that you want to prolong and extend, like things you might want to do in the bedroom as well. And so you should want to, chew your food and enjoy it thoroughly and turn it into a mush before swallowing. This is particularly important, with salads, even with fruits. We want to get it all mashed up because then we're just going to get better assimilation of the nutrients in the foods you're eating. So I definitely have taken my time and enjoyed all my strawberries. All right, now it's dinner time for the little man. Well, that's what I say to my little man, Oakley. But this is dinner time for me. And what I'm doing now is actually I'm in the backyard. And for dinner every night when I'm home, I like to come to the backyard and kind of just scope everything out. I mean, I see lots of ripe peppers over there. And I got this nice striped Armenian cucumber we're going to pick here real quick. Check this guy out, man. Oops, just broke off the top. This thing is huge. Look at that. This is huge. It must be like 2.5 feet right there. Striped Armenian. What I'm gonna do with this is gonna inspire my dinner. And what I'll be doing is I'll be juicing the Armenian cucumber to make Armenian cucumber juice, which then I will blend up with some ingredients to make a soup base. And then I'm gonna add a lot of the fresh ingredients in my garden to make a delicious raw soup for dinner. I think what I'm gonna do next is actually harvest just some of the things in my garden. We'll come back at you when I'm about ready to make it, show you what I'm making. And then I'll share with you guys what I mean. So just got done making my soup. What I ended up putting in here was I juiced that whole cucumber. It made like 64 ounces of juice. I probably put 32 ounces of juice in here. I put 4 tomatoes, about a dozen different peppers, sweet, a few hot ones from my garden. I put about 36 of the Egyptian spinach leaves, which is more nutritious than kale. I put about 12 of the Janera procums or longevity greens in there. I put a little bit of sage, a little bit of African blue basil, as well as a little bit of miso and 2 handfuls of macadamia nuts for some fats and some sauerkraut in there, and blended that up, and this is what we got. This is going to be my dinner. It's about 48 ounces. Wow. Quite good. So hope you guys enjoyed seeing what I eat in a day. Every day for me it's completely different. I've never had a day that I've eaten those exact same things that you just saw in this video ever. And I doubt I'll ever do it again, because every day I'm eating something different depending on, what's I could harvest in my garden, what's available at local farms, what's available at local farmers markets, what's available, at the local stores, and what produce I could get available for, organic produce I could get inexpensive at the wholesale produce terminal. And plus it's also some days I feel like eating some things and some days I feel like eating others. To sum up this video, because you guys saw what I eat, in general my diet goes like this. My first meal of the day always is water. I always like to get up, and as soon as I wake up I like to drink water. Depending on the day, from 16 to 32 ounces of water is what I like. Then I'll basically just take a break, because when you wake up in the morning you're supposed to eat breakfast, and that's breaking your fast. You're breaking your fast of sleeping. Hopefully you've been sleeping 8 hours and you haven't eaten you know, like too late at night, so that you've actually been fasting for 12 hours or hopefully, you know, thereabouts. And then I extend that fast by drinking water in the morning, and then I only eat after, you know, a few hours later, after I've had the water, after I work a little bit. I get my mind off like, oh, I gotta eat food now because I just woke up. No, man, you may not be ready for food if you just woke up, unless you're feeling like hungry. Like when I wake up, I drink water. I'm just not hungry. I don't desire any food. I'm ready to start my day and get working, go gardening or whatever I'm doing. And then as soon as like my body will get hungry, like I'll feel it in my mouth, like it's just like, man, you're hungry, dude, eat. And then I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna eat. And then what I'll do for my first meal of the day is I'll do one of a few things. So it's very simple. Either I'll have like a mono fruit meal. So mono meal is basically eating one fruit until you're full. I'm not a big fan of making like, you know, fruit cocktails with bananas and oranges and grapefruits and all these things mixed together. You know, I'll simply eat, you know, a whole meal of peaches. You know, it could be 5, 6 peaches, 7 peaches, you know, until I'm full and happy. It could just be all apples. It could just be all bananas. So that's one option. Option 2 is I'll make a fruit smoothie. So I could do coconut water with bananas and maybe some green peppers or some, you know, greens added in for a green smoothie, or I could just do a straight up fruit smoothie. Next option is I might do a vegetable juice. So I might go out to my garden and pick a whole bunch of greens and celery and come inside and juice them up and have like a good 32 ounce to 48 ounces of juice on average is my amount of green juice I like to drink. Or I could have something like a green smoothie. And so we got the whole fruit, the fruit smoothie, the green juice, or the green smoothie. And occasionally, you know, but not usually, I may do a salad or something like that early in the day. But in general, I like to have one of those other options. You know, basically whole fruits and vegetables, juices, or smoothies. On some occasions, I will also do the fruit juices. So that gives you some options of my first meal. And I will do the same thing for my second meal. You know, if I did whole, you know, mono meal for breakfast, I might do juices for lunch, or I might do a smoothie for lunch. And I always mix it up. Once again, it depends on the produce availability in most cases. Like I have a ton of cantaloupes going ripe. They're not the super sweetest cantaloupes to eat, and I wouldn't totally enjoy them. Then in many cases, I'll just juice them, because by removing the fiber in the cantaloupes, then I'm going to enjoy the cantaloupes more, plus be able to get rid of them so that they're not going bad and feeding my compost pile. Instead, they're feeding me. That being said, I always encourage and recommend you guys eat whole fruits, you know, first as mono meals, or blend them before juicing. You know, that's always better because you want to keep the fiber. On your vegetables, I recommend juicing them first, and then maybe like, you know, blending them and then eating them whole, and make sure they're chewed to a nice fine consistency. And no matter what you do, whenever you blend anything, you do not want to overblend. This is very important. I see many people in raw foods today click on their blender, walk away, and the blender's running far too long. You want to only use the blender as, you know, little as necessary to achieve the consistency that you desire, so that the minimal amount of oxidation occurs, you know, when blending. Some people in the raw foods movement say you destroy 90% of the nutrients when blending, and I don't know if that's true, but I do know that blending does destroy, in my opinion, more nutrition than a slow 47 RPM juicer such as the Omega VSJ 843 juicer that I've been using mostly in my kitchen today. And my last meal of the day simply is my dinner. And for dinner times, you know, I believe the salad should be your main meal and should be a large part of your diet. So I like to have huge salads at night, like big serving size bowls that would be for like a family, and lots of greens. If I'm not doing a salad, another thing actually I like better than a salad, believe it or not, is actually a raw food soup. So I have a really good episode, actually I'll put a link down below this one, on how you guys could make your own raw food soups based on whatever you have in your fridge at the time. I love raw food soups because that allows me to get even more fruits and vegetables in me than a salad, and it's also much more and easily digestible. And then finally, at nighttime before I go to bed, generally I like to drink, once again, 16 to 32 ounces of water to stay hydrated through the night. I generally don't have to get up and go pee in the middle of the night, but if you do, you may want to weigh and consider that, you know, to not drink water so you don't have to interrupt your important sleep cycle to get that stage 4 sleep that we all desire. That is when our body is fully resting, healing, and rebuilding. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode. Hope this was very helpful for you. If you like this episode, hey, give me a thumbs up. I may be doing it again, as much as I hate doing what I eat in a day videos, because once again, I want you guys to not eat exactly what I eat, but you know, kind of just be the model and just share with you guys what I do in case you want to do something similar or whatever. But in any case, I always encourage you guys to just eat more fruits and vegetables. I mean, the raw food diet, that's what it's all about. It's about eating fresh fruits and fresh vegetables, you know, as close as you possibly can to nature. You know, grow them yourself, go to local farms, join a CSA, go to farmers markets and buy Farm Direct whenever you can. Vote with your dollars so that you can be the healthiest you can. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Once again, my name is John Kohler with OKRaw.com. We'll see you next time. And remember, until then, keep eating your fresh fruits and vegetables. They're always the best. All right, this is John Kohler with OKRaw.com. Today I have another exciting episode for you. Coming in HD, we're here at the 2013 Woodstock Fruit Festival. It's the first day. It's Sunday when everybody checks in. We kind of got here a little bit early. We're going to go ahead